And in chapter 14 starts with the Lamb, Jesus, standing on the Mount Zion, and with him on 144,000, having his Father's name written in their foreheads. That's another reward from chapter 3. So these are the overcomers. And a lot of people believe because they are here with Jesus on the Mount Zion that they are during the tribulation on earth. But Jesus is standing there, so Jesus came down from heaven and he took them with him, his bride. They are with him and they are his army. And they sang a new song. No one could learn that song except them, the 144,000 which were redeemed from the earth. They were not, they didn't come out of the tribulation. What the other group is described as, these ones are redeemed from the earth. And their traits are that they are not defiled by women. They are virgins. And I believe this is not the literal virgins. This is not defiled with false gods. They are pure believers and they walk in absolute holiness with the Lord. And another trait of them is that they follow the Lamb whithersoever he goes. And they are redeemed from among men, being the first fruits. There you have it. That's a harvest term. So it's talks about a harvest, a moment of rapture. And they are the first fruits. So they are the first to be redeemed amongst men. And some people think it's like they are the first fruits among the Jews. But I'm so sorry, but it says amongst men. So they are the first fruits of all men. And another trait of them is that in their mouth was found no guile, for they are without fault before the throne of God. So they are overcomers. They are overcomers. Another angel, then you have another angel flying in the midst of heaven, having the everlasting gospel to preach unto them that dwell on the earth, and unto every nation and kindred and tongue and people. Fear God and give him glory. Worship him that made heaven and earth. The everlasting gospel. And immediately I must think of what Jesus said about the gospel will be preached to all nations, all kindred, to the ends of the world, and then the end will come. So an angel is doing this. I don't know if it really will be an actual angel, or this angel mentioned here is represented by an event or some type of miraculous preaching, or I don't know, but this is an event and it will reach the entire world. And this is what Jesus meant, I believe, when he said that. And then to continue, another angel followed, saying, Babylon is falling, that great city, who made all nations drink of her fornication. That's a mention of a city, Babylon the Great. And her traits we will be discussing later. And a third angel followed them, saying, If any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead and in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and shall be tormented with fire and brimstone and smoke, and the smoke of their torment shall ascend forever and ever. They will have no rest, day nor night. So a third angel is coming, and is telling all these things, and is proclaiming all these things, and it is warning the people to not take this mark, and because this will happen to the people who take it. So I believe God will provide sort of knowing that it's not good for you to follow this man. But, and I believe, therefore, there will be a multitude no one could count, redeemed from out of the tribulation, because the Lord will provide information. He will help those who didn't know, who don't know what to do and what not to do. So that's what I believe. And it concludes with a Son of Man. Jesus is on a white cloud, and he has a sickle in his hand, and he thrusts his sickle and reaps, and the earth is reaped. And that is what I believe is the harvest of the multitude no one could count. Then they are being reaped, the main harvest. And the 144,000 which were already harvested will help with this harvest, because they are there to help. They came down with Jesus to help him with the harvest. And another angel, that's the fourth one, he comes down, and he also has a sickle, and he's gathering the clusters, or I don't know exactly, but the clusters of the vineyard of God, the vines, the grapes, are gathered, and he thrusts his sickle, and reaps that harvest, and that's a harvest of judgment. So in this chapter 14, you have a lot happening, and I believe these are very important events, and we must understand them. Otherwise, you don't understand the rest either. So, on to the next chapter.